Are we back on? CB, Captain CB. Let me say first and foremost, you're such a fresh guy. I think you're better off without I'm glad you've changed.
Yes.
Sometimes you looked very serious when you are the
now
captain.
Chilled out.
Yeah, look like you don't crack jokes. I'm here dying. You're hilarious. Anyway, and so far, if you're joining us at this point because of the title or because of whatever may happen, trust me, you want to watch this conversation from the very beginning. So go catch the previous episodes, and we're going to continue where we left off. You have just joined Kenya Airways. So what year is it?
88.
Just before we even talk about Kenya Airways, a big change that has happened, or that I'm hoping is happening within the aviation industry, is the introduction of women. Throughout this whole time, I've not had and I'm sure there was were there any women?
Air Force, no.
Air Force, none.
When I joined Kenya Airways, we had one. Mm-hmm. She's here with us, called Captain Koki Mutungi.
Yes, yeah.
That was the only one.
She's the first female.
She's the first in Kenya
captain.
Airways. Yeah.
Okay. So you joined in 86. Let's take it from there.
Yes. So
back from getting your from the States, mm-hmm. Gotten your license, and now you're back in Kenya.
Kenya Airways. I joined late 88. Started flying in 88. Started on it was called a Fokker Friendship, Fokker 27. That we used to do Nairobi, Malindi, Kisumu, Mombasa. That's up and down. Very, very basic, very manual, but nice to fly. So
when you say it's manual, what do you mean?
Manual as in, I'm comparing to what there is today. Everything is electronic.
Sorry, let me get it down. Okay, sorry. When you say manual, I know. What do you mean by that?
I'm comparing to the automation we have today, where everything is automated. We have 3 autopilots. You have automated navigation, automated planning for fuel.
Yeah,
that was manual. You have to do your own figuring, do your own calculations. You could not do automated landings, which we with the new aircraft you can. That's what I'm saying.
You can do automated landing now.
Oh yeah. You can do automated landing.
Planes can literally fly themselves now, eh?
Just about.
Just take off is what you need it for.
They're getting there. When the aviation started, there used to be 5 people in the cockpit. 5. Then they went to 4. Captain, co-pilot, engineer, and a radio man. They were so complicated, and a navigator. That was the 5th. Somebody is just there looking at stars, figuring out direction.
No way.
Then they went to 4 because they figured now they have improved maybe the radios, you can do them yourselves. They went to 3.
Navigation now.
And now it's only 2, and the future could be maybe pilotless.
What?
Probably won't happen because you're carrying human beings.
Yeah.
But it's only 2, and even the 2,
you're vibing. The stories.
You're having your coffee.
I like that you said coffee.
You're having your coffee. So a lot has changed.
Okay.
So the Fokker was very manual. So nice to fly.
When you started, how many people were in that Fokker? It's called Fokker.
Fokker.
Okay.
Well, just 2 of us, but I'm saying before me.
Okay.
Yeah, before me.
So it's just this time it was just you and the co-pilot.
Yeah,
and at this time you're joining as a co-pilot. What do you call it? Yes.
As a co-pilot, yeah.
What do you call it? A first officer or what?
First officer, co-pilot is the same thing.
Okay.
You are the number 2. There's a captain who is in charge, then you are the number 2 person.
Who was your number 1 on your first flights? Can you remember? Or when joining KQ?
I think it was a gentleman called Kemathi. I can't quite remember. But you know what happens, you get a schedule. So I'm doing Nairobi, Kisumu, maybe afternoon to Mombasa. I'm with Captain X. Tomorrow I'm going to Nairobi, Malindi, Nairobi and Tebe sometimes. I'm with Captain Y. So it depends. You just have a schedule. So you don't have we are not paired as such to each other.
I like what you've said. How does a normal day look like? Let's say, what does a a normal day look like for a pilot? Where does your schedule come from? What happens? This is sounding like an AMA 3 in the air.
Squad. He has called squad.
just walk us through this. So,
okay, a normal day for a pilot, we get a monthly schedule.
Oh, so you have monthly?
Yeah, we have a 28-day schedule that you get. Let me talk about recent now, what I've just finished.
Yes.
So you get a schedule, and you have on the 2nd, you do Nairobi, London. You stay there one night, following or 3rd night, London, Nairobi. Then you have a 2-day off or 3-day off. Then on the 7th or 8th, you do Nairobi, Bangkok. 2nd day, Bangkok, China, Bangkok, and then back to Nairobi. That's like a 4 to 5 day rotation.
Yeah.
Again, 2-3 days off, and so on and so forth.
I get it.
Nairobi, New York, get to New York the following day. You have normally 3 days off. The following day you're off, and 1 day to rest, and then you fly back. So you have a schedule, and in between, of course, there are things like classes. We do a lot of ground classes. Yeah, a lot of ground classes. It's continuous. There's always some.
So what's when you say ground classes? Give me an example of what is it that you're learning?
We do something like, I'll give you an example. One is called dangerous goods, which you do once a year. Dangerous goods is you have to be versant on the things you are carrying. If you're carrying chemicals or batteries, those are called dangerous goods because they could spark a fire. So you have to know how they're labeled, where they should be packed, how the quantity to be carried. So we do that class once a year. We do safety and emergency training, fighting fires, sliding. We have a mock-up at Kenya Airways. In case of an emergency, like they would open the doors and the slide comes out, you slide down.
Yeah.
So we do that practically. We do ditching, where you go to a pool and get in the water, and now you get the dinghy that you would have in case you ditch in the Indian Ocean. And you go through it. This is what you'd find here. This is how to inflate it. You have a pen knife here. You have a water purifier. So again, you do that once a year. So there's a lot of that. We do CRM, very important, which is crew resource management. How to coordinate the two of you because of different personalities. They found there were a lot of accidents before when they didn't have such training. Understand you understand me. You are trying to basically to work as a team towards one goal. What used to happen is there would be a hierarchy. Some of these societies, like they give an example of Korea, where you do not question somebody senior to you, no matter what. Even if you can see he's running to a mountain, you say, well, he must know what he's doing. But now the idea is to speak up, say, hey, boss or captain, there's a problem here. Before that, there were accidents. Although the younger guy could see what's happening,
he's not communicating.
You cannot communicate. It's like you questioning the mzee in the village, for example.
Yes.
If he says, do X, Y, Z, you just say yes, even though there's a better way to do it.
It's so funny that you should bring that up. I think I've got a group of I've hung out with pilots, and I've had younger pilots, and I've heard them talk about warlords. And it's so funny that you brought that. I remember back when I was in university in SA. So I would meet up with the Port Alfred guys, and some people would come. They're talking about the warlords. Who explain to people what that is?
A warlord is exactly that.
Yes.
Someone you don't question. Like if he says 20, you just go. Even if you say no, but it's only 10, we don't have to be there till 2, type thing. I'm giving a very basic example. That's what is called a warlord. You don't question him. He'll bark at you, or shout at you. He is difficult. Those are what they call warlords. And that's what the classes of CRM, crew resource management, try to undo. Say, there's a mission here. You have to take 240 people from A to B safely. So the two of you, not just the two of you, the whole team, because everybody does it. The ground staff, engineers, everybody does it. because you can also be a warlord to an engineer.
Uh-huh.
You know, tell him, do this, and he's trying to tell you, no, this one is like this. So it's a very good
I
training.
love that.
But that's a warlord thing, which you can use even anywhere. Can be in an
Exactly.
office, can be at the bank, can be, you know, Coca-Cola. You need that.
Yep. It's people. You're right. That skill needs to be used
It's
everywhere.
useful anywhere,
Okay.
even in your house.
Yep.
Because you can be a warlord where your askari cannot even tell you that the fence is broken because you are so curly to him. He just leaves you until the thieves come in because he knows you'll yell at him.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a useful tool.
Okay. Let's now rewind. I love that. I've got the understanding. You join now. This is very different from the Air Force.
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
especially where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Especially after the coup, it's very
Yeah.
different from that. To what are some of the differences that you automatically felt?
I still remember my first training flight. I think my warlord instructor wanted to, although he was not a warlord, I was so used to flying alone, like because of my F5, that, you know, we took off and I started doing everything. And he looked at me and said, what are you doing? Raising the wheels, raising the flaps, communicating. He actually wanted to kill me because the airline is very different. It's called it a two-man crew. I ask you, please request 1, 2, 3. Although I could do it, but there's duties for what we call the pilot flying and the pilot monitoring. So the pilot flying, I'm the one flying. So I ask you to please lower the gear. Those are the wheels. Although I could reach and do it myself.
I get it.
But there's a system, checks and balances, so that I don't do anything out of the ordinary. So my first flight, I was just doing everything. I was just so used to, and then, of course, it's a different environment. We used to joke that you're there, you know, you don't want to spill the old lady's tea when they're having tea. So you have to be very gentle on the turns, the descent. So it's a different.
It's definitely. I mean,
very
the fighter jets you are.
Very
you
different.
had G-force.
Yeah, you have to tone it down. But it's different and it's nice. It's nice. Yeah.
What didn't you like about this shift from, or let me not even use the word. What did you find difficult?
The flying was fun. A lot of fun throughout my 33 years. I think there's a lot of time away and you cannot plan. You cannot quite plan. If you tell me you're inviting me for lunch for Christmas Day, I cannot guarantee.
Man.
I'll say I'll try, but I'm leaving for this place on the 23rd. I'm not sure I'll be back because sometimes some flights are cancelled. So there's that bit of uncertainty. It's also a little tricky on families because time away again. You're leaving and your little 2-year-old sees you wear uniform and you can see the tears swelling in their eyes. You feel it, but you have to go to work. You know, you're driving and you're thinking, those big eyes are tearing up because they know you're gone for 3-4 days. So this
is the side they don't talk about.
That's a hard bit. And once in a while you miss major occasions, family occasions. You know, you're not there.
Your anniversary, you're on a plane.
You're not there because this is the end of school something and your daughter is winning an award and you're not there. It's one of those things that, you know, you feel I really need to be there, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. You're not there. Those are major events.
Okay.
I remember back home, one guy in Limuru, because you miss again some home issues. You know how Kenyans, or Africans are very sensitive. Things like funerals. I remember one guy asking me, who is going to bury you? Because you never come to anybody's. And it's so hard to explain. You look arrogant. that now you're a pilot. Yeah. You don't even come. Mzee so-and-so died. You didn't come. Mama so-and-so died. Your next door neighbor. You didn't come. And what do you tell how do you sit and explain?
Yeah.
So that's the one side of it. Now to counter that, again for families, they get to see the world. So that's now it's the balance side. And I think the seeing the world maybe is one edge up.
And
for
if
me
there's
and
a family that has seen the world, it is yours.
Yeah.
Gina has let us know.
Yeah, we have seen the world. We've been anywhere KQ went to, from Vietnam to Bangkok, several Christmases in Bangkok, New Year's in Paris, Dubai, of course, Amsterdam. So you balance out. And since you're flying, you're going there, you just make sure there are seats on that day. And then the hotel, you have a hotel, kids are small, they share with you, they are big, you get an extra room. So you can, there's a positive side to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you started, a lot of people want to be pilots. And in fact, when growing up, doctor, lawyer, pilot, it's just name it. Are the financial gains when you started now at KQ, were they good?
Initially, no.
Because you didn't start even as a captain. It rises according to...
Initially, I think KQ then was just becoming privatized and all that. So they were not as lucrative as people at Wilson. But within 3 or 4 years...
As people in Wilson?
Yes, Wilson were earning better than KQ.
What?
Yeah. But within 3 or 4 years, then the things changed, and to be honest, they're good. You cannot complain.
Okay.
They're good. It's a tough job. It's a lot of reading. Like I was saying, a lot of time away. But they take care of you well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's continue. So you start with this Fokker planes, and those ones are local. You're not doing any international
flight.
Local. Maybe international being East Africa is alone. That's
East Africa. I don't even think we did Entebbe. It was just Malindi, Mombasa, Kisumu. So I did that for just under a year. Then we got a more updated, but still a Fokker. We went to train in Amsterdam. It was called a Fokker 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, slightly more, same manufacturer, but more modern now with better toys in the cockpit to play with.
A few more buttons you can press.
A few more buttons to press.
Yeah.
So from there, then...
and how many pilots are we talking about in the organization at the time?
Maybe about 80.
80?
Yeah. Today we are over 500.
Hold on, there are that many flights?
Yeah, today we're over 500.
I mean, of course, they're not all 500 flying at the same time.
No. You need them. In fact, until the pandemic, there was a shortage.
What?
Yeah, until the pandemic, there was a serious shortage.
And
to a point where you barely get a day off. You come in, tomorrow you're leaving. Come in tomorrow. Before 2020, there was a shortage. And I think it will get back to that. Don't forget, it takes a lot of people. Right now, as we speak, there'll be 2 guys in London, 2 guys in Amsterdam, 2 guys in Paris, 2 guys in New York. I'm talking about the Dreamliner.
Yes.
There'll be 4 guys in New York. There'll be 4 guys in China, because it takes 4 people. There'll be at least 4 in Dubai, because there are guys coming in, guys leaving, guys resting. So they may sound like a lot, but
okay.
Then there are the people off, there are people in class, there are people who go for simulator training, attend one time 4 or 5. There's a few maybe on leave. It takes a lot of people.
Okay.
I think one aircraft, the set needs between 6 and 8 sets. That is 16 pilots for one aircraft.
And that, of course, that depends on the size of the aircraft.
Depending on the routing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. I mean, love it. I love the nuggets that you're throwing out here. So you joined. You've now gone and you've gone for some upgraded training.
Yeah.
Who is the boss at KQ at the time? Is it the CEO, who is the Naikundi?
Naikundi came later because we had who was there?